Hi everybody, Drew McQuinn from Royal Bank here with my friend
Sandy Lee from Century 21
Trident.
Trident. And this is Drew from
RBC
RBC on
Almond
Almond
Street.
Street. So we have a very good question, I guess, for buyers. It's like, what are the 3 things you need to know before buying a house? Do you want to talk about number 1, Drew?
Sure. Well, the first thing that I always think about is knowing your budget. So make sure that you understand how much is comfortable for you, because the bank will have a particular level that we have to, or a range that we have to approve you within. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be comfortable for you when you actually get in the house. You always hear about people talking about being house poor. And that's something that a budget can help you determine if you're really close to that line or not.
A good example, Drew, would be like, okay, well, a buyer goes in, gets pre-approved for $650, for example. So usually around $650, you never want to go on your max. You always want to try, to go, I would say 50,000, or wherever the buyer's comfort level is.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, by having it out in even like a spreadsheet where you have your Netflix and you have your mortgage payments, internet, you have your water bill, insurance, all the things that are pretty obvious that are fixed costs. Put it out in a budget and see how much is left after you're done, because when you come to a pre-approval with a mortgage specialist like myself, I will tell you what the monthly costs are going to be for the house itself. You can plug that into your budget, and then you can see if you're right on the line or if you have some wiggle room to allow you to go out for dinner once a month or something like that.
You need to have a life, don't you?
Yeah.
So, for example, you're in a relationship, you have children, you need date night once in a while. You don't want to be crunched and not really have a budget to live a life, or have the ability to, not be able to take your children to swimming lessons or whatnot,
What's the point of, sometimes you don't want to buy a house that's going to completely restrict you, right? So
I know, that's a very good point. And that's the thing, you really want to know what your fixed monthly expenses are, and also have a little set amount for your savings account for retirement,
is
right?
Too. Yeah, exactly. So how about number 2?
Well, Drew, number 2. I would say it's location.
Oh, location.
Really knowing your neighborhood, knowing your school district, and knowing that the property is in a awesome neighborhood for good resale. You definitely don't want the best house, but you do want to have a house in a desirable neighborhood. So that would be probably number 2 or number 1 on my list.
Yeah.
Location.
Especially with regards to getting to work and that sort of thing. Is it going to be heavy traffic in the mornings?
That's right. Is it close to the buy high? Is it close to the airport? It's all about convenience and saving time so you can make it home.
Exactly. You want a life in that sense too.
Yes.
And then the other thing I think we were going to talk about was the age of the house and knowing, what might have to be replaced and that sort of thing.
Yeah, just really knowing the house. So I guess this would fall into once you've put an offer in your house, or even prior to it, there's a cut sheet, and it would have information on the description of the house, the age of the house, and just knowing what was already updated. And this is where the realtor will come in and ask the seller's agent if they could provide information on what the age of the furnace is, the age of the roof shingles, the windows, anything, any upgrades or anything that the buyer needs to know to consider.
If there's any major accidents in the house too, maybe.
Insurance, that's right, insurance.
Yeah. We've had, our neighbors had flood in the house, and sometimes you want to know if there was any major problems like that that you might have to look out for. It might cost you down the road.
But usually there's a property disclosure statement. If the owner lives in the property, there would be a disclosure on whether or not they had any water issues or floods or leaks or insurance claims, right? So we hope that the seller will answer to the best of their ability, right? And
Exactly.
remembering if there were any incidents.
Yeah, it's good to know what you're getting into. You don't want to be buying a lemon, right? So
we don't want a lemon. But Drew, I'm going to throw a loop here. There's actually a number 4.
Okay, let's do it.
So the number 4, I would say, is really knowing whether or not you want to be in the city, or, it's about your lifestyle, whether or not you want to be in the city or whether or not you don't want any yard maintenance. I think you really have to think about, do I want to be around people or do I want more of a private setting?
Yes.
Then you're 15, 20 minutes away from the city, right? And
what you're willing to compromise.
Yes, for the drive and time to get a bigger space, more privacy.
Yeah.
You're not really far away, but you're still considered in the city, but not in the city.
Yeah, it's a whole other
space.
Lifestyle. If you're, let's say you're out in Elmsdale or something like that. There's going to be a lot of other lifestyle considerations to take in if you're going to be driving half an hour into work every morning.
Which isn't such a long drive anyways, right?
Yeah.
Plus, if you're in Elmsdale, that's also a different county. So you're in the Hants County, right?
Love Hants County.
Right? So it's 2 different counties and 2 different tax brackets too. So you save more money. Well, I'm not too sure, but you do save a little.
On the taxes.
On the taxes.
You have to check into your municipality for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's really great. I think that was super helpful. What do you think?
I think that's great. If there's any questions or anything about the buying process or the pre-approval, you have Drew McQuinn here from RBC on Almond Street.
Yeah, and my contact is 902-402-7561, and my email is drew.mcquinn@rbc.com. I don't have the pop-up.
We'll do this. We'll do this.
Yeah.
I'll have to do the pop-up. And then if you have any questions about buying or selling, I would be more than happy to help you. My contact is below, 902-233-8537. And thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Ciao.
Bye.